Welcome to Steve Jackson's Sorcery, book number 3, The Seven Serpents, the exciting new fantasy adventure in which you become the hero. I'm going to skim all the way to the end because we're going to read the back of the book for the first time. I forgot that I wanted to do that last time. And I'm giving you a sneak little preview at all the stuff coming up. Oh, look at that. What is that stuff? Wait, is that the spell book? The fate of the land of Kakabad is in your hands. 7 deadly and magical serpents speed ahead of you to warn the evil archmage of your coming. Will you be able to catch them before they get there? 2 dice, a pencil, and an eraser are all you need for this adventure. You decide which paths you take, which dangers to risk, and which monsters to fight. Complete with all the magical spells you will need, the 7 Serpents can be played either on its own or as part of the whole epic. Steve Jackson's Sorcery. We did the Shamutanti Hills. We did Kare, the city port of traps. And now we're on the 7 Serpents. Ooh, coming soon, the Crown of Kings. John Blanche. I'm going to have to look him up because his art's pretty, nostalgic. Very, very 80s fantasy nostalgia. So it seems like the goal of this book, the goal of the first book was get to Kare. The goal of the second book was get out of Kare because Kare fucking sucked. And it seems like the goal of this book, let's pull up our handy dandy map, everybody. Ba-bam, ba-bam, map. So, we left the Analad, that's where we're from, where the Crown of Kings was stolen. We went through the gate where we were told that the only land known to our kind is up until Kare. Once you get past Kare into the backlands, it is who knows what's coming. So we got from Analand through the Shamutanti Hills. We killed the Manticore, saved the half-orc princess, got into Kare. It was a fucking nightmare, literal nightmare. I started to just say fuck it and we just were balling because this shit sucks. And then we finally got through it to the end, had to look up the answer to a puzzle because it was gnarly. It was 6-sided die and no one online knew the answer to it. And when we finally got through it, we're now in the Badlands, which is what this story takes place in. The art, as always, very nostalgic, very good. We've got our paper to take notes on, to write combat information and such. Me, the hero, that's right, Zero. You. I do have some notes here. Let's see if I wrote anything down. Okay, so for sleeping at the sleepless ram, seek out the one they call the sham. I feel like that was for Kare. This was the puzzle, and it was 4-2-1 or something like that. This is useless. Let's see. This is trash. This is trash. This is trash. I can take that. This is trash. This is trash. And this is where I was writing my quotes. Okay, so that's not trash. So let's start with this page. That is also trash. Let's see. What does our character sheet have on it? Kare jail. This can be erased. We ended up never going to the Kare jail. Ragnar's armband of sword mastery, which gives us a 13 to hit rather than a 11. Scroll in unfamiliar language. I don't know if we'll need that. Gold and silver mirror. I don't know if we'll need that. This is our +2 to damage double-edged broadsword. And then we have the beginner sword as a backup in case we lose our broadsword. Then we have a tinderbox to light a fire, snake anti-venom, a green wig, a vial of poison, essence of bark bottle, and then in the next book, page 130, silver serpent ring. As we did before, as we did prior, We're going to do the first page, and then we are going to jump to 130. So let's see. We've already read all of that. The Seven Serpents is the third adventure in the Sorcery series, following the Shamutanti Hills and Kare, city port of traps. But Sorcery has been designed so that each adventure is playable in its own right, whether or not readers have been through the previous ones. If you are new to Sorcery, you may prefer to start your adventure from the very beginning. The first adventure, the Shamutanti Hills, takes you from Analand, your homeland, out into the wilderness of Kakabad, armed with the knowledge of magic to see you through your journey. We're not doing magic. We are Guts from Berserk. We've even got Puck with us, although he has been written out of the book. The Seven Serpents is, however, a complete adventure in itself, set in the Backlands, a no-man's land between the city port and the fortress of Mampang. You must seek out and destroy the Seven Serpents, for these serpents are the Archmage of Mampang's own messengers, and they carry news of your mission back to him. But above all, you must survive. New players will find all they need to undertake the journey as warriors, but if you would prefer the magic arts to the power of swords, you will also need the Sorcery spellbook. Do we have our best friend Griffith? I guess so far, maybe the Archmage of Mampang is the Griffith of this story, trying to usurp the crown and usurp the world for his own. To learn your magic spells before you embark, readers who are now on the third stage of their journey will be able to skip over the rules section and plunge straight into the adventure, which is what we will be doing. Their characters, equipment, and experience must be carried over from the previous adventure. Okay, we already know how to do all this. Wizards, how to use magic, and for the first time, it seems that the spellbook is in the back of the book. All right, let's start. Number 1. The dark storm clouds roll across the sky as you start your journey across the Backlands. This stage of your trip will be the most testing yet. And it can't be harder than Kare. Kare was like a nightmare. The plains of Badubak are unknown to the map makers of Analand. I thought that was a comma, but it's dirt on my screen. You can't see that. Oops. Although certainly uncivilized, the Backlands are inhabited by nomadic tribes and solitary creatures. You will find new friends here. You will find few friends here. But you must march on regardless. The crunch of your footsteps on the rough trail rudely interrupts the eerie silence hanging in the air. Apart from the great wall of the city port behind you, the landscape is featureless, devoid of vegetation, creatures, or any structural punctuation to the horizon. An hour later, the barren waste has changed not at all. But in the distance behind you, the faint callings of birds can be heard. The noise gets louder, and you stop. They are gaining quickly on you. A sudden thought makes you freeze. Examine birdmen? Surely not this far from their homelands. Crows? No, crows' calls are not as piercing as these shrieks. Then what? You've turned to face your pursuers. From nowhere, a black shape drops from the sky. You duck just in time to avoid the sharp, outstretched talons of the attacking bird as it dives at your neck. You steady yourself and clutch your weapon. The bird has soared past you and up into the air to rejoin its group. 4 dark nighthawks now circle above you, ready to attack. How will you deal with these creatures? You may draw your weapon or use magic. Okay, so we read number 1. Let's skip to 130 and see what 130 says. The serpent ring you were given will be a valuable item in this part of your journey, for it has power over the Archmage's serpents. If you confront a serpent while wearing this ring, you can command them to reveal useful information. If you do this in the following way, or you can do this in the following way, at certain references when you confront a serpent, these references will all end in the number 3. Okay. Ring, ref, number 3, end. You may command the serpent to reveal its information by deducting 14. Deduct 14 from the reference number you are on and turning to this reference. If you wish to do this, you must remember this instruction, as no option will be given in the text. If you do not have the serpent ring, you are forbidden from discovering this information, and you should not be reading this reference now. Okay, cool. So if we get to a reference that ends in the number 3, I need to remember to subtract 14 to deduct information from the serpent. We are going to draw our weapon. So let's go to... I have too many pieces of paper. Let's go to page 258. I'm sorry there's no music, everyone. I really wish I could do it again. Look at that bear. 258. You draw your weapon and wait for the creatures to attack. They circle quickly, picking up pace, until finally they dart down towards you in an attacking line. Their speed makes them difficult targets. Choose which you will fight, and roll for attack strength. Roll also for the attack strengths of the Nighthawks. If your attack strength is higher than that of your target, you have wounded it, but each Nighthawk rolling a higher attack strength than you will wound you. Resolve your combat. Oh my god, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to get a new piece of paper. This is our combat paper. We have a 7, 6, 7, 7, and that results in a 5, 5, 5, 4. Okay, so one of them dies in 2 hits, and the others die in 3. Actually, I think they all die in 2 hits because my sword enables me to do 1 more damage. -1 to attack, +2 to damage. Okay, I see. Okay, so I now roll a 12 instead of a 13, but I do 4 damage if I hit. I see. That's actually goated. I think I'll be able to finish this very quickly. So if you remember how combat works, or if this is your first time joining me for this, basically we go to my handy-dandy dice roller. For everyone who is attacking, they roll 2 dice, including me. So I'm going to roll 2 dice 4 times. The first person gets a 7. That puts them at a 14. The next one gets a 5. That puts them at 11. And then a 5. That puts them at 12. And a 6. That puts them at 13. And so now I roll. I start with a 12 because on my character sheet, I rolled a 11 as my base to hit, and my arm guard, if I'm wielding a sword, gives me +2, but my sword gives me -1, putting me at 12 total. But instead of doing 2 damage per hit, I'll be doing 4 damage per hit. And I roll a 6. That puts me at 18, meaning 18 is greater than 14, 11, 12, and 13. So if they are at 5, 5, 5, 4, that means that they are now at 1, 1, 1, 0. So now we're going to do it all again. And I took no damage because I rolled higher. So they got a 5, that puts them at 12. They got a 9, that puts them at 15. They got an 8, that puts them at 15. And a 6, that puts them at 13. So now we roll, and I hope we roll good. We rolled a 5, putting us at 17, meaning we roll higher than all of the birds, killing all of the birds in 2 times. Two rounds. After 3 attack rounds, turn to 314. Actually, I killed them all, so I'm just going to turn to 314 anyway. You get no EXP or anything for killing. The only thing that you get for killing them is that you don't lose all your HP. You don't die. The Nighthawks circle and prepare for another attack. Suddenly, the formation breaks and their cries take on a different tone. Something has disturbed them, and they seem to be in a state of confusion. But you can see nothing. You get survival, exactly. A moment later, a shape forms in the air in their midst. The Nighthawks shriek as the gold-crest eagle materializes and slashes out at them with its deadly beak. Your spirits rise at your good fortune. Goldcrest eagles are raised and trained in Analand as birds of war. But what is this great eagle doing so far from its home? The eagle snaps its razor-sharp beak through one of the nighthawks and plucks at another with its talons. The two remaining birds turn to the west and dart away to safety. With the threat dispersed, the eagle drops down to land by you. Around its neck is a small tube containing a message, sealed with the royal seal of the King of Analand, which you unroll and read. We trust these tidings reach you in fair health, but must warn you of impending peril. Your mission is discovered. The Mompong's eyes have spied our plan, and word is on its way to the Dark Fortress. Too late, we discovered our unwelcomed eavesdroppers, and news of your quest is being carried towards High Yamen. Zaman? That looks like Yamen. By 7 serpents, the Archmage's most trusted servants. By now, they will have reached the Backlands, and here they will divide to complete their journey separately. If you are still able, seek them out, for they must stop to rest and eat. Destroy the creatures before they reach their goal, else the Archmage will prepare a deadly welcome for you. Find Shadrach the Hermit for advice, for naught moves through the Backlands without his knowledge. Our hearts are with you. And then it has a seal from Analand. You look back at the great bird, which has brought this welcome warning, but it is no longer with you. Having delivered its message, it will no doubt be winging its way back to Analand, flying safely under a shroud of invisibility. Studying the message again, you stuff it into your tunic. The instructions are wise. If your mission is to succeed, you must undoubtedly find and destroy the Archmage's messengers before word of your arrival reaches Mompong. Turn to 48. Okay, good setup to the story so far. For several hours, you continue your trek across the barren Backlands. Look at this fucking image. On the horizon, a solitary leafless tree appears, and you head towards it. You may rest and take provisions here, and add 2 stamina points if this is your first meal of the day. A noise in the branch. Should I? How many do I have? I have 4? If I don't eat, I lose a lot of health. So I guess I will. That does sound like a good idea. Why is it white? And that puts me to 37. Yes, I know I'm cheating. Look, so we are on easy mode. Okay, if this is your first time here, we're on easy mode with this game. We kind of just want to experience the adventure, figure out some puzzles, do a little bit of combat. The combat was not my intention to be so OP. We've kind of just been rolling good, okay? We've kind of just been picking up some good-ass items across each playthrough. I think that the creator, Steve Jackson, rewards players who buy and do each book in a row. You get progressively stronger as each book finishes. Whereas if this were the only book I played, that combat may have been very difficult. But for me, who has really good rolling pluses and damage, that was very easy, you know? So it's kind of like there's someone out there working on their car. I'm sorry if you hear that. It stinks in my room. I might close it in a little bit once it airs out in here. Unfortunately, there's no air movement in this house. It all just kind of comes out of the AC. There's no fans or anything. So I have a fan. I've got a window. That's all I've got. I'm working with what I got. There might be some background noise. You might be able to hear the fan. I'm sorry. And we are also kind of cheating with, like, as you can see under my stamina right there, it says 13. That's what I'm supposed to be going up to. I'm not supposed to be gaining any stamina above 13. You know what I mean? Whatever. I eat good. I live good. I get healthier. I get stronger. That's how it goes. I've been having good luck with food, and I've been having good luck with healing. Okay? Sue me, all right? It's a choose your own adventure, and I'm choosing to play on no health cap. Anyway, I ate. A noise in the branches disturbs you. You look up and hear a voice calling your name. High up in the branches, a bear The bare twigs have formed themselves into a human face, an old man's face, and it's mouthing a message. The message drifts towards you. You seek the whereabouts of Shadrach of Badubak. That I know. To find him, you must detour eastwards from your trail toward the Fishtail Rock. He is expecting you. A breeze catches and disturbs the branches. Then they settle. The face has disappeared. Will you head east as the face advised, or continue on the northward trail? Fuck it. If I die, this is where I'm going to return to, though. So I'm going to put a little star next to 48. And we are going to go to 150. Why not listen to the scary tree? Man, my phone went out. I didn't catch the whole temple story. It's okay. There will always be a VOD. It was just me talking about trust random faces? Hell yeah. Why not? What was it, 150? Don't worry about it, Rinka. Welcome back to the stream. I thought you fell asleep. There's always the VOD if you really want to listen to the story. It was kind of me just talking about a guy who made me really uncomfortable. But also, everyone is coming from somewhere, you know? Everyone has some reasoning for something. There was probably some reason why he was acting that way it was not just attributed to malice. Maybe he truly was thinking that the only way he can get answers is by asking these what he perceived as hard questions. You can only get the real answers if you ask the hard questions. You know what I mean? Anyway, maybe. I don't want to write a narrative for him, though. I'm just going to say, that was weird, and then eat the cookies that they gave me and drink the tea. It was very good. It was hibiscus tea. And go to my little Japanese class, okay? I'm just going to move on with my life and go like, that was weird. I hope that guy's okay, and move on. All right. The Fishtail Rock comes into view a little further on. It is well named, with 2 peaks, as if a huge fish were half buried on the plain. A fire burns outside the entrance to the small cave. You call out to attract the occupant of this dwelling place, and an old man shuffles out. You recognize the face of the tree spirit. This must be Shadrach himself. That's why we always trust an old man, Zero. That's why we always trust the old man face in the trees. I think I'm actually going to steal that for my D&D campaign. That shit's kind of sick. I'm not going to lie. That's a really nice ability right there. I have been expecting you, he says in greeting. I know of your journey from Kare. Be it folly or bravery which takes you across the backlands, I must warn you that none of Analand have crossed Kakabat alone and survived. Come, let us chat by the warmth of the fire. I may be of some help to you, and for my part, I wish to know what is happening in the city port. It sucks. Shadrach, don't go there. Shadrach, when I come back from my quest, I'll take you with me, and I'll take you to Analand, bro. Don't go to Kare. It's a nightmare there. It sucks. I fell into the sewer. These guys with red eyes that burn like the sun stole my soul and threw me into the sewer, and then in the sewer I had to fight human feces turned muck monster. It was terrible. Terrible, Shadrach. I hated it. For some time you talk, telling him news of the outside world. He offers you a meal, which you may take, and adding 2 stamina points if you have not eaten yet. Fuck, I shouldn't have eaten. You are anxious to know of the messengers of Mompong. I shouldn't have used a ration. Ah, the 7 serpents, he starts. Indeed, they are in the backlands, but I knew not that it was news of your journey that they carried back to Mompong. Let me tell you what I know of them, for they are no friends of mine. Legend has it that some 12 years ago, the Archmage of Mompong fought and slew a mighty hydra which dwelt in the caves of High Zaman. Okay, so it was Zaman, it wasn't Yaman. I guess that sounds too similar to Yemen, which is a real place. So formidable a foe was this creature that the Archmage took its 7 heads to Mompong, where he used his black arts to resurrect them as 7 winged serpents. They became his personal messengers, and, as an act of faith, he assigned each to one of his own gods. His own gods? In return, the gods bestowed their own powers on these foul creatures to aid the Archmage. The power of the sun was bestowed to the sun serpent, the moon to the moon, the earth, water, fire, and air became powers of 4 more serpents, and the last the serpent of time, which given perhaps the greatest power. Which was given perhaps the greatest power. But each has its own weakness. Discover these weaknesses, and you may defeat the creatures. But otherwise, no mortal stands a chance against their powers. The serpents keep knowledge of their own vulnerabilities as their closest secrets. I myself know only one. The air serpent may leave its body. Okay, we gotta write this down. I can write it on this piece of paper. Sorry, I've got like Winnie the Pooh like reading ability. You know that meme? Hold on, let me show you guys. You know this meme? It's kind of old. It was a meme from 5 to 10 years ago. Come on. This one. This is how I fucking read now. Ever since I turned like 27, I've been reading like this. My eyesight isn't even like getting that bad. Like it's serviceable. It's okay. It's not as good as it was when I was 18. It's not terrible. But like for some reason, I just hit fucking unk status, and now I read like this. Something's wrong with me. Okay, anyway. Air. Become puff of gas. But while in this state, it will die unless it is able to re-enter its body within minutes. Destroy its body to destroy the creature. Destroy body while it is air. Easy. That's easy. I kind of figured that this would be happening because it kind of happened in the previous book as well. As the adventure becomes more complex, the number sequences, the references need to become longer as well. They have to explain what's happening. They have to explain where you're going or who this is or what this matters or the plot of this or that, right? And so we're getting a lot of that. In book 1, it was literally like 1 page, and then they let you go, and then everything was like a 2 to 5 sentence thing, like a small little paragraph, maybe this long total, right? Now we're getting like multi-page conversations. It is now late. You may spend the night in Shadrach's cave and add 3 stamina. Next morning, you can set off. Before you go, Shadrach offers you an ornate gale horn to aid you on your adventure. Okay, I don't know what a gale horn is, but we're gonna write it down right here. Right here. Gale horn. No idea what that is. Also, this writing is getting small enough that it's kind of hard to read. All right. We also slept, putting us at 40. I think that's the highest we've been. Not gonna lie, that 4 was good, and then the 0 was trash. That 0 was disrespectfully bad. All right, we went the correct direction. I have too much shit on my desk. My desk is shockingly not big enough, even though it's the biggest desk I've probably ever had. Will you now set off northwards or rejoin the main trail at 2:30? Let's head northwards. I don't know. Let's go to 85. I probably should have rolled a dice like I've always been doing, but it's just going to choose. It's going to choose the right one. It always chooses the right one. Whoa. Okay. You head on across the plain, keeping your eyes and ears open for warnings of danger. Suddenly, the ground beneath you rumbles. You lose your footing and fall over on your back. Test your luck. If you are unlucky, you have broken one item of your equipment, the most delicate one. If you are lucky, nothing breaks. Okay. So we are lucky, nothing breaks, but that does drop our luck 1 point. The reason we're lucky is because you roll 2 die, and if it is less than your equal to or less than, you are lucky. If it's greater than, you are unlucky. It is impossible to be greater than because 2 die can only roll a maximum of 12, and since we had 12, it is impossible. So we are automatically lucky, meaning that nothing breaks. If something did break, it would have been my mirror. It would have been my silver and gold mirror. As you pick yourself up, you see the ground in front of you breaking up and two large claws emerging. The hole becomes larger, and out of it crawls a giant Badu beetle. It turns towards you and advances. How will you fight it? Turn to 286. Okay, we're fighting again. This one looks like it might actually be a challenge. He's going to do some fuck shit to me. I can guarantee it. The two of you close in for battle. Oh, he's only got a 7? That's crazy. Okay. Well, that's fine. All right. 7 versus... And he's got 9 HP. So it's 7 versus 12. So he has to roll... If he rolls a 5 or I'm sorry. If he rolls a 7 or less, he does not hit me. I think it's nearly impossible for him to kill me. Okay, he rolled 9. That puts him at 16. That means I have to roll a 4 or higher. And I rolled a 5, so he takes damage. That puts him at 7. Or, sorry, that actually puts him at 5 because we do 2 damage. 2 more damage. He rolls a 3. He's now at 1. He rolls a 4. He dies. He dies so easily. After the first hit on the creature, turn to 216. Oh no, I've made a mistake. Okay, so that combat didn't matter. Let's go to 216. So there are these teenage boys that live next door to me, and they share a wall with me. And I thought that the wall between the townhomes would have good insulation. But all day today, I've been having to hear this teenage boy playing Fortnite, screaming at the top of his lungs, screaming, like high-pitched. He's like a 18-year-old, and so he's got a deep voice which rumbles through the wall, but he's also got like a high-pitched screaming voice, and now he's outside screaming, or he's got his window open or something. So I'm going to close the window. I'll be right back. I'm done. I got to close it. Okay, it turns out he was outside. He was like getting into his mom's car or something, and he was just like, I don't know, man. Teenage boys, they're so loud. And they've got this little dog. Oh, dude. Oh, man, I thought apartment neighbors were bad. Something about living this close to people who own their home is so significantly more annoying. Something about them. Something about neighbors where they own their home, but you're still basically living in an apartment, right? I'm just living in like a 2-floor apartment, essentially. Damn, something about it. They have more, because there's no apartment manager for me to complain to, I would literally have to go knock on their door and be like, shut the fuck up, you know? And you don't really do that. So it kind of is just like, maybe they feel like, who cares? You can't do anything. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm back. 213. No. 286. Right? Oh, shit. What did it say? Oh, no, I hit my mic. I'm sorry. Turned to 216. Okay, I didn't write that down. As your blow strikes the creature, a short jet of liquid spits from its mouth and lands on your leg. A burning sensation warns you. The beetle's spit is an acidic liquid, which will certainly eat flesh. Deduct 1 stamina point for the burn on your leg. Continue your fight, but each time you hit the beetle, roll 1 die to see whether its acid hits you. Okay, so I'm going to continue the fight. Hello, Big Sid, welcome. I'm going to continue the fight as normal. We hit it once, twice, 3 times. We hit the creature 3 times, so I need to subtract 1. I'm going to write that down. And then we have to roll. Let's see how Lady Luck shines on us. Roll 1 die. So we rolled, that was for the first hit. Now for the second hit. We rolled a 4. Lose another. Okay, so now we're up to 2. And then we roll again. This is the third hit where it died. We rolled another 4. So we got 3. Hits you in the face, lose 3, and the sight of your left eye. Hits your sword arm, lose 2 and 1 skill point. Hits your other arm, lose 2. Hits your leg, lose 1, 5, 6 misses. I actually got very lucky. 3 stamina points or lose my fucking arm? Okay, no thank you. So that brings us back down to 37, which is where we were before we slept. So I guess we're back to normal, back to neutral. Hello, Bixit. Welcome. I added an emote last night. It's a good one. It's fucking stupid. And I didn't know what to name it, so I named it Are You a Cat? God, it's horrible. Look at it. Okay, anyway. If you defeat the creature, turn to 24, which we do defeat the creature. Let's turn to 24. Look at that. Barbarian. I washed my hair last night, and now it's like very, not frizzy, but it doesn't have any oil on it. And so it's like loose and ticklish. From the Beatles' Hole in the Ground, you may collect some stone dust. Okay, stone dust. What would I possibly use that for? I guess I've got it, though. Oops. Stone dust. I've got so much shit, and I have no idea what to use any of it for. Will you head northwest or turn northeast? Let's roll the dice. 1 die. Higher than 3. 1, 2, 3. Northwest. 4, 5, 6. Northeast. Or, yeah. Okay, we're going northeast. It always, something about fate is always leading me to the right. It always chooses option number 2. So let's go to 12. Oh my God. You carry on tramping across. Who the fuck is this? The plains, watching for signs of life. There are none, but a curious sound in the distance reaches your ears. It gets louder as you continue, a sort of distant screeching, but nowhere is there any likely source of the noise. You look about quizzically and gasp in horror as you see ahead a pair of disembodied eyes glaring at you. Their gaze is hypnotic, but you shake your head to break the spell. The screeching noise is now very close, and as you blink your eyes, you can see its source. 10 yards ahead of you, there is a disturbance in the air. A shimmering heat haze is rising from a craggy boulder. As it rises, so does the pitch of the sound. Whatever it is has been distorting your view of the landscape ahead. Some way from the rock, the shimmering merges with the eyes, and the shrill sound turns into a high-pitched, mocking laugh, as if a coven of witches were jeering at you. You stare in fear. As you watch, the shimmering rises above the eyes, and a fearful shape forms. A dark, cowled creature with a skull-like head beckons you over with a single bony figure. Will you approach it as it wishes? Will you run for cover in the rocks, or will you turn back and run from the scene? I ain't no bitch. 104. The sight in front of you appears to be a death wraith as you step forward cautiously. Death wraiths are powerful undead creatures. It is still beckoning you with its finger, but as you approach, it spreads its arms wide to clasp you. You must act quickly. What will you do? Draw out a silver weapon. Draw out a normal weapon. Prepare to cast a spell. Okay, so I don't have a silver weapon. I think I'm about to die. I have a gold and silver mirror. That's all I've got. So let's die. Draw out a normal weapon. Let's go to 32. Definitely going to die right here. As you draw your weapon, the death wraith lets out a fearsome shriek and lunges at you. Resolve your battle. You will find that your weapon inflicts normal damage on the creature. When you have reduced its stamina to 3 or less, turn to 205. Okay, so it's only got a 9 and a 9. which means I only need to hit it 2 times to reduce it to 1 HP. Let's get to rolling. So it is a 9. I have a 12. So if it rolls a 5 or less, I auto hit. Oh, oops. It rolled a 6, so I need to roll a 3. Okay, I hit it. It goes down to 5. I need to hit it one more time. It rolls a 8, so I need to roll. So is that 17? I need to roll a 5 or higher. I rolled a 6. Okay, it goes down to 1 HP. We now flip to 205. Easy. 205. Easy, baby, fucking whatever. The wounded creature steps back, clutching its arm. The shimmering haze returns once more to engulf the death wraith. It rises into the air, and as it does so, the aberration has disappeared. In its place stands a stout, balding man who whimpers and nurses his wounds. "Enough!" he cries. "Let me be. I did you no harm. Why do you attack me?" Your jaw drops at the sight. "Leave Renfen alone. He never does any harm. Just a little merriment, that's all." You're not amused at the man's practical jokes. Do you want to step in and finish him off, or will you threaten him unless he gives you information? Let's turn to 72. I meant no harm, even though I attacked you, even though you would have killed me if I had not defeated you. 72. He pleads with you. "Have mercy, stranger. I will not harm you. Perhaps I can help you if you spare my life. What are you, a bandit? Here, have my gold. Or a warrior? Here, take this chakram. Its blade is deadly, and its aim is true. Perhaps a wizard. I'll give you this magical powder for your spells, but leave me in peace." You bend down to pick up his offerings. A money pouch contains 9 gold pieces. The chakram is a sharp throwing disc. Before a fight starts, you may throw this at an enemy. If you do so, roll 2 die. If you roll a number less than your skill, you will hit it for 2 stamina points of damage. His magic powder is yellow in color and is contained in a small glass vial. You lower your weapon and speak to the man. You ask, "Okay, I'm taking the chakram." "Hi, Bumner, welcome. I'm taking the chakram because combat is so easy for me that I kind of just want to get through it quicker. And I have 15 gold. I feel like I don't really need gold. You know what I'm saying? Gold comes to me a little easy, so I feel like the chakram is a good move here. And we're going to put the, oh God, there's like no room here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this, go down to layer 1. We're going to take this right about here. No. We need to go above it. You should be able to see what I'm doing. And then we're just going to click and drag. Oh, no. Oops. I think I need to do this button. Let's just Control-C, Control-V. That's easier. And then we should be able to move this. Yes. Okay. All the way down. Yes. Okay. And then we will take our... This is going to look kind of shitty, actually. Now that I think about it. I want to erase this. So what I want to do is I want to select this. As much of this as I can get. The problem is that the paper is not one... It's like consistent, but it's not one consistent, even, like, I can't just copy and paste it over. You know what I mean? But I can do this. And I can just draw over that like this. Is that how I want to do it? Make this bigger. I want to make this bigger. So then I want to go here. And I want to select this here from this side. And drag this down. Oh, oops, there's stuff in the way. Bring this up here. Photoshop is one of those things that's like useful to know, but also kind of annoying and stupid. Okay, this one. We're going to paste that and put it here, covering this up. And then we will merge all of this. And then we take our little brush and we're just going to do one of these. And it looks like shit, but who fucking cares? We have more space now. There we go. Oh, it's so dumb. Okay. But now that means that we can add a layer here. I'm actually going to highlight this. I'm going to highlight both of these lines here. And Control X them. And then put this here. Get rid of this line. And then we're going to put a new line here. Chakram. Roll to less than skill equals 2 damage. There we go. So now we have the chakram for defeating that guy. And my page looks fine, I guess. It looks fine, I guess. It's not amazing, but it is what it is. If I were like a kid with a piece of paper, I would have forgone the adventure sheet, or I would have taken a screen and then made it way bigger so I could write on it. And then you can write really small and still read it, but when it's digital and it's this small, you can barely see that shit. Okay, anyway. His magic powder is yellow and in color and is contained in a small glass vial. You lower your weapons and speak to the man. You ask whether the 7 serpents have been sighted in this area. Oh my, yes, yes. They flew over yesterday. In fact, one of them. His voice trails off and his eyes widen. Oh, no. Aye! You watch in amazement as he keels over backwards. Something has frightened him to death. 143. Let's go. In an instant, your world goes black, as if the sun had been snuffed out like a candle. A hissing sound gets louder and louder, and a glowing moon appears above you. The round shape suddenly uncoils itself. Really? Here? And a great shimmering moon serpent hovers in the air above you on glistening wings. It is poised and ready to strike. Will you draw your weapon, cast a spell, or do you have the means to make a fire? Okay, so we need to subtract 14, putting me at 129. As you hold up the ring, the serpent hisses loudly. Foolish adventurer, your ring will not protect you from my wrath. Your death is certain, but by its power I must reveal to you my secret. 4 guards protect the entrance of the fortress of Mampang, but this information will do you no good, for you will never reach the high fortress. Now return to 143 to deal with the serpent. Okay, we'll start a new piece of paper with Mampang secrets. I'll write it at the top so I don't forget. Mampang secrets. 1. 4 guards at the entrance. Okay, return to 143. We do have the means to make a fire, so let's turn to 155. We have a tinderbox. Have you collected a tinderbox or flash fire powder along your journey, or any other means of making a fire? If so, you may create a fire to burn the serpent. Fire is the moon serpent's weakness. With fire as your weapon, you may fight it as is. With fire as my weapon. Okay, so I'm not using my sword, and I'm not using my main sword. So I'm going to be rolling with an 11. But, hey, fire is its weakness. Okay, so it needs to roll a minimum of a 6 to hit me. To roll my minimum. And my minimum is a 13. So unless it rolls higher than a 6, I hit it. Okay, so I need to roll a minimum of 6. And I rolled a 7. So I hit it. I deal 2 damage. It goes down to 4. It does not roll a 6. I hit it again. It goes down to 2. It rolls a 7, which means I only need to roll a 3 or higher. And I roll a 5. So it dies. If you defeat the serpent, turn to 62. Rest in peace, dummy. The darkness disappears as the serpent dies. All right, first one dead. You watch it lying on the ground, and before your eyes it shrivels, coiling into a ball. Moments later, all that remains is a small crystal orb, which you may take with you. Okay, let's write that down in our character sheet. We're going to write it over here. Crystal orb 1. 1 total orb. Turn to 285. 285. Right here. No, right here. You may head onwards, either due north or northwest. If you choose the latter, you will walk several hours until a sight makes you stop. Okay, well, we're going to roll the dice. Higher than a 6 is towards the interesting thing. It's an 8. It's always higher than a 6 when we do this. So let's go to 137. Okay, so that turned out pretty good for us, legitimately. 137. A few hundred yards ahead of you is a camp of covered wagons and carts arranged in a circle. A fire burns in the center, and you can see bodies moving around. You walk toward the caravan. Your approach is noticed, and an arrow flies through the air, landing to your left. Another lands to your right. Will you hold your hands in the air to show that you mean no harm, or retrace your steps and take a wide detour? Let's show no harm. 259. And this book really makes you flip back and forth. Ooh, it's Elvins! You hold your arms up in the air and walk slowly forward. To your relief, no more arrows are released, although you can see bowmen with shafts at the ready, covering your approach. A crowd is gathering to see who you are, and you are soon close enough to make out what sort of people are watching you. You have come across a caravan of black elves, presumably traders of some kind. As you enter the camp, they eye you suspiciously. An old elf, slightly stouter than the rest, steps forward. If you seek shelter or food, then you waste your time with this caravan. What purpose have you wandering alone through the backlands? What will your reply be? Will you claim to be a trader and ask to see their wares? Will you tell them of your mission and ask about the 7 serpents? Will you tell them you are after food and shelter and that you will pay handsomely for their hospitality? Let's go to 37. With the way that this author has gone, anything that's black has been evil. So there's a really good chance that they're going to be like, oh, we serve the Archmage, and they'll fight me. But I can take them. Fuck these guys. And then I'll take whatever they've got. You are wasting your... You explain your purpose and your quest for the 7 serpents. At the mention of the Archmage's servants, a gasp comes up from the crowd. The old elf holds his hand up for silence. So you are the reason why those evil creatures have come to the backlands, spreading their terror. He pauses to think for a minute, as if formulating a plan. Eventually, he looks back at you, his eyes narrow to slits. Well, perhaps we can help you, stranger. Follow me to this caravan, over here. I think we might have something for you, something you will be interested in. Will you follow him? Would you rather leave, or would you cast a spell? I'm following him. 151. I don't trust him, but I kind of want to see if he kills me. Oh yes, he continues. We may be able to arrange for you to meet the 7 serpents, and he snaps his finger behind his back, and sooner than you think, guards! In an instant, 5 strong black elves are holding you. You try to reach for your weapon, but you cannot move your arms. Yes, laughs the old elf. Let's arrange for our friend to meet the 7 serpents. The guards bind your hands and set to work, taking a tall wooden cross. They tie your arms and ankles securely to the cross, nail a black flag to the top, and set it firmly into the ground, leaving you hanging high in the air. You are powerless to prevent them. Below you, the black elves are laughing and jeering. Let the archmage know who has delivered his enemy, proclaims the old elf. We will get our just reward. A short while afterwards, the caravan packs up to leave, while you hang limply and painfully on your cross. Lose 4 stamina. When they have gone, you may either wait to see what fate has in store for you, or if you are able, call on your goddess for help. I don't want to call on my fucking goddess. Let's just kill me. Take me to 102. Just kill me. You wait for hours, peering across the dark backlands. The strain of your ideal is tremendous, and your strength begins to fade. Soon you are unable even to think clearly, and consciousness fades. The carrion crows above you, circling and cawing, will soon alight on the cross and ensure that you never wake. Your mission has ended. Wow, we got crucified. The first time we died in the last book was in the fucking, like, we went in the sewer or some shit, and this time we got crucified. Okay, take me back. What was it, 259 or 37? Let's go to 37 since it's closer. No, it was 259. Okay. Again, something about Steve Jackson. If they're black, they're evil. Okay. The leader motions. What? Oh, 259. Okay. I guess I'll do 315. Because I don't want to pay. The old elf leads you into the center of the camp where a large caravan stands. Its door is guarded by 2 armed elves. Tell Ulu we have a customer. He orders one of the guards, who climbs into the caravan to report your arrival. A skinny black face appears at the door. And what sort of a bargain hunter can we have happened across here in the middle of Badubak? Asked the face. Aha, a human! Well, come inside. Let's see what bargains we can strike with one another, eh? Come on. He waves you inside, and you follow. Your eyes light up as you enter the caravan. It is a veritable treasure trove of valuables. Look at these prices, though. 44 gold piece, 8 gold piece, 10 gold piece. Ulu looks up at you over half-moon eyeglasses. He's flicking through a catalog of some kind. And what is your art, stranger? Weaponry? Sorcery? Are you a craftsman? Or how about some fine treasures for gifts at the end of your journey? We have it all, and at fair prices, too. He pauses to look over his shelves while he chatters away at you. How about piece number 227? A fine hewing axe. Very useful if you are heading northwards, and only 6 gold pieces. Or piece number 93, a brass pendulum. Always hangs down and no lodestone can deflect it. 2 gold pieces to you. Or a fine pearl ring, piece number 124. A gift fit for a king, but that'll cost you 8 pieces. Or a bag of victuals. Let's say, yes, piece number 17. Ideal provisions for long journeys. Only 4 gold pieces for the whole bag. If you have any gold, you may buy anything from him. Buy from him anything you wish on his shelves. If you would prefer to barter, you may select anything except your weapon. You have with you and offer it in exchange. Roll 2 dice for each of the items you are offering to test your bartering skill. If the number you roll is greater than your skill score, the black elf is not interested in that piece. If the roll is equal, he will assign a value of 3 GP to your offering. You may exchange it for anything priced at up to 3 gold pieces. Or offer it together with something else if you want something costing more than 3 gold pieces. If the roll is lower than your skill, then the elf will value it at a higher price. He will accept it as its value as 3 GP plus the difference in gold pieces between your skill and the die roll. For example, if your skill is 7 and you roll a 5, this item is worth 3 plus the difference, 2. That is 5 gold pieces in exchange for anything he has to offer. If you have nothing to offer, or you do not wish to barter here, turn to 299. If you do buy anything, you may find out what it is by turning to the reference with the same piece number as your purchase. Okay. Here are the pages for the things that I am interested in. I am interested in... There is a scroll called The Secret of the Backlands for 203. And then we have whatever that horn thing is at 177. Oh my god, there's so much stuff. Shit, let's just take a look at all of it. Okay, 203, 177, 88, 124, 17, 93, 153, 51. Okay, and we are on page 315. So let's take a look at all the items. What is 203? Filled half the book with fucking items. The parchment is worn and faded. A heading at the top reads Secret of the Backlands. Although most of the writings are illegible, but by studying it carefully, you can just make out two facts which may be useful. An old sorceress known as the Sham may be... Oh! Wait! For sleeping at the sleepless ram, seek out the one they call the Sham. Ooh. Okay. May be worth visiting, as her powers and knowledge are considerable, and she is not wholly aligned to the dark side of sorcery. She delves ahead on the Kladabak steppes in an area that must be northeast of where you are now. She appreciates being given gifts, but the parchment gives no warning. She is not what she appears... Gives a warning. She is not what she appears to be. Secondly, the parchment warns of the forest of the Snada. In this forest, the plants are as deadly as the animals, but the most deadly of the plants are affected by the essence of bark. Oh, I have that. The rest of the parchment cannot be deciphered. Okay, so that was 203. Let's go back to 177. Find out what the next item does. The horn is, in fact, an ornate gale horn with the power of the wind, but its power is only available to those who have trained in sorcery. Okay, so this is worthless to me. 203 is good. I think I might buy 203. 88. The orb is of clear crystal. You peer into it, but can see nothing. It is heavy, and if an emergency arises, it would make a handy and quite dangerous missile. If you throw the orb at a creature, you must roll lower than your skill with 2 die to hit your target. If you succeed in hitting the creature, it will inflict 2 stamina points of damage. But if you hurl the orb, you must also roll 1 die to check whether it breaks or not. If the roll is odd, it will shatter on impact. Turn to 86. Okay, I don't care about that. I have the Chakram. 124. The ring has a small pearl mounted in it. You paid a fair price for what is a fine piece of jewelry. If you ever wish to sell or barter it, it will be worth 10 gold pieces. Oh, but how much does it cost? It's 315. How much does that cost? It's worth 10. How much do I get it for? So do I get like a net of... What was that, 124? It cost 8, so I get a net of 2. So essentially, I'm carrying... It's like buying, instead of having all your souls, you're buying soul gems or whatever. Or a better example would be in Sekiro, where you're buying those money bags, so that when you die, you don't lose all your cash. I kind of don't care about that. Let's go to 17. Haven't I already been to 17? Ideal traveling provisions. Victuals are small pastry balls with tough dried meat inside. You have bought enough for 4 meals. Okay, that one is interesting. That one's pretty good. I only have 3 meals. 3 is a good amount, though. But 4 meals carry over to the next adventure. Oh, it could be worth it. Okay, 93. The brass pendulum is exactly that. A small brass bob attached to a cord. Okay. That one could be useful. I feel like that might help me defeat a snake. 153 and 51. Let's go to 51 because it's closer. The label on the vial certifies that the contents are waters from the holy spring of Darule. Although you have no way of knowing this at the time, the water has not been blessed. It is ordinary river water and has no special powers at all. Okay, well, glad that I looked. 153. I know that you're supposed to pay and then go look. Who cares? This is an RPG. This is a video game. You get to read the item description. What game doesn't let you read the item description before you buy it? The suit of chainmail fits you perfectly. You may wear this from now on, and it will help protect you in battles. Add 1 skill point while you are wearing this armor, and if you are wounded in a battle, the chainmail may help minimize the damage. Roll 1 die after each wound. If you roll a 5 or 6, the chainmail will absorb most of the blow. Deduct 1 stamina instead of the normal 2. If you roll a 1 or 4, the damage is as normal. Okay, I like that as well. Let's see. I only have 15 gold. I can barter, and I do have stuff to barter. But we have to roll to barter. So let's go to 315 and see what I can buy. Okay, so 203. 203 is 2 gold pieces. 17. 17 is 4 gold pieces. Okay, so that's 6. So I'm going to write a little 2, a little 4, 93. 93 is 2 gold pieces. Okay, no big deal. That's the pendulum. And 153. 153 is 6 gold pieces. Okay, so we are at 6, 8, 12, 14. We are at 14. Let's see how much I can barter for. Okay. So as per the rules, if I roll higher than my skill, so higher than 11, wow, my skill is really high, actually. So if I roll a 12, he won't buy it. If I roll a 11, he will buy it at 3. If I roll less than 11, I add the difference to 3. Okay, so let's roll. Let's find out what I want to barter. Let's barter. Let's barter the green wig. No. What if I need that? No. What if I need that? Let's barter the mirror. I don't think I'm going to need the mirror. I have a feeling I don't need the mirror. Oh, I shouldn't erase that till I roll, because if I roll a 12, he won't take it. Okay, let's roll. Oh my god, I rolled a 3. For the silver mirror, he's going to give me 12 gold. 12 gold, which will cover everything. So I only need to sell the mirror. That is outstanding luck. Goodbye, gold and silver mirror. And I now go up to 27, and I subtract 14, which puts me at 13. So I have 13 gold remaining. Oh, I've made a mistake. I made a terrible mistake. I merged everything together. I can fix this. So I need to make a new layer. I accidentally merged my writing together. 11, 13, 10, 11, 37. It looks terrible. I'm sorry. So this puts me at, what was it? It was 13. And then this is 3. No, this is now 7. Because I just bought 4. And I just got a bunch of items. So here's what we're going to do. We're now going to erase this. And then I'm going to use the clone stamp tool on this. You press Alt, and then you just draw over it. I wish I could get like, oh, I can do it down here. Okay, that's better. I can make this bigger, so I can just draw over it. Why is my opacity so low? Why is it like feathered? It's a little faded on the letters. Forgive me. I do what I can. Oops. Need to go higher. And there we go. Now everything's back. Everything's back to normal. Except for the, imagine that I've erased too much on the paper with my pencil. Okay, so we gained. I don't care. We gained the secrets of Backlands. We gained the brass pendulum. We gained the. What else did we gain? Oh, we gained the food. I already added the food, and we gained. Oh, I didn't look at number 8, did I? We'll look at number 8 as well. Which did I gain? It was the chainmail. Okay, the chainmail at 153. So I gained the food, the pendulum, the secrets, which is 203. I'm going to write 203 right here. We're a little bit off the page. Let's just drag this to here. That works. That's fine. And then we gained the chainmail, which I'm actually going to put on this side. Chainmail, +1 attack, and so our skill goes up to 12. Or actually, I should write +1 skill, and roll 1 die 5, 6 -1 damage. I'll just have. That's like stupid. I'm not sure if I'll remember that. -1 damage to me. Hopefully I remember that. But we do what we must. We do what we must. Okay, let's go to number 8 and figure out what that item was. I did not look at that item. Excitedly, you open the spellbook, but to your horror, you find it is a spellbook from Analand. Somehow it has fallen into the wrong hands and wound up in Kakabad, and this could be very dangerous for Analand. Each country's own sorcery is one of the most closely guarded secrets. There is no other alternative. The book must be destroyed at the earliest opportunity. Trying hard to keep your composure so as to not to give your discovery away, you close the book. As soon as you are able, you will destroy the book, but you may first look through it to brush up your knowledge of the spells. You may, if you wish, spend 5 minutes revising the spellbook printed at the end of this adventure. At no other time are you permitted to look through this book once you have embarked on your quest. Okay. So this is for the people who are playing Magic to get a quick brush up, and then you're not allowed to look again. So I don't care about that. Fuck you. All right. We spent our money. We bartered our mirror. We basically only spent 2 gold on a bunch of shit, and now our skill increased by 1, which means that we're at 12. So I should fix that by writing 12 here, crossing that out, because 11 is our base, but 12 with the chainmail. This is trash now. I guess I can use the back. Okay. It says now continue to 86. Like that anime. Like that anime about the people being used as like fodder or whatever. If you bought any more artifacts from Ulu, discover what they are by turning to the reference with the same number as the item. When you have done this, you may leave the caravan. If you are greeted outside by the old elf. Will you ask him for shelter for the night, or do you now wish to leave the camp? I would like to leave. Fuck y'all. Motherfuckers crucified me. I bought your shit, now I'm leaving. The black elves watch as you leave the camp. To your great relief, they allow you to go. 269. I feel like that didn't need to be a number. Night is soon upon you. You must shortly choose either to bed down for the night or continue through the night across the Backlands. If you wish to rest, turn to 237. If I don't rest, I lose 3. But if I do rest and there's a chance of me getting attacked, that doesn't really matter to me because combat is legitimately so easy now. 237. Oh my god. You set up your camp. You may eat provisions if you wish before you sleep. I have to. If you don't eat, you lose HP. So we eat, putting us at 39. Putting this at 6. You lie down and sleep for the night. Noises wake you up continually during the night, but you get some sleep and rise at dawn to continue. Add 1 stamina. 40. Bada bing, bada boom. We're back to where we were. And turn to 11. I feel like it's bringing us to the early numbers a lot more. Look at that guy. It's a centaur. Which direction will you continue in? Okay, we're rolling a dice. Let God decide. It is a 9, meaning that we go into the middle route, which is north-northwest. So 15. For a couple of hours, you walk across the bleak steppes. The wind builds up, and to your consternation, it is blowing against you, making the going difficult. A boulder jutting out of the ground will give you some shelter if you wish to stop, rest, eat, and wait for the wind to die down. Do you wish to stop here or continue? I think I'm going to stop here because I feel like there's an event that's going to happen here. 97. Sheltering behind the rock, you may take the opportunity to eat. If you do so, add 2 stamina. After a while, the wind begins to die down. As you are preparing to leave, a strange whistling noise catches your attention. It is coming from the other side of the rock, and you peer around cautiously to see what is happening. A strange sight greets your eyes. Whether a living creature or a freak of nature, you cannot be certain, but a swirling twist of air stands in a cove formed by the rock. It is like a miniature whirlwind, some 3 feet tall and 2 feet across. Perhaps it is trapped in the cove and is unable to spin its way out. Or perhaps this object is alive and is sheltering or hiding in the rock. Do you wish to try to talk to it, ignore it, or cast a spell? Let's talk to it. I have the Gale Force horn, so let's go to 267. You call out to the wind. Although it gives a little kick in the air, you cannot be certain whether this is a reaction to your voice or merely a chance movement. You call again. No reaction. Will you now approach it to investigate more closely or leave? 157. What is this weird thing under me at 268? This weird symbol. 157 takes me back this way. You creep up to it slowly, and until you are less than 3 feet away, it does not flinch, but remains in position, spinning quickly. You watch it for a short while, trying to make out what it is, but it is still a mystery. A small fly buzzes over to the whirlwind and is sucked into it, but it seems to be totally uninterested by its surroundings. Do you wish to touch it, or will you leave it be and continue? I'm touching it. 126. I'm touching it. I'm touching the butt of the ship. You reach out with your hand to feel the suction above the top of the whirlwind. The force is quite strong. Without warning, the whistling sound increases in pitch dramatically, and the thing swirls at a tremendous speed. The force of your hand catches you unawares, and you lurch forward. In a split second, you are trapped. Whatever it is has sucked you inside so quickly that you lose consciousness before you realize what has happened. Your inquisitive nature has cost you your mission and your life. Okay, I kind of thought that was going to happen. I thought that they were going to give me the option to use my horn, but that's fine. Okay, so I will leave and continue on my journey, making me 322. This book loves to do that, where it like punishes you. The longer something goes on, what the fuck is this? The longer something goes on, the more likely it is to be a punishment. You leave the rock and head across the steps. Will you head? Okay, now we roll. Higher than 6. We go to the right. 7. Who would have thought? It's always higher than 6. It's literally never not higher than 6. 73. It has failed me before, but it has also been the reason why we got through the Shamutanti Hills. Hi, Crawl. Hi, Bixit. Hi, Bumner. Hi, Ace. Welcome to the stream, Ace Lur. I think Rink is asleep, but he might say hi. Welcome to the stream. We're doing the book I was talking about. I can tell you. Wait, hold on. Oh, 73. On and on you go, pausing briefly every now and again to scout out the land ahead. At one point you stop. Something is on the horizon. You squint ahead to try and make out the shape. It is definitely moving. You keep going, and the shape becomes a little clearer. It is a small, two-legged creature about half your size, and it is turned to come towards you, but it is moving at a remarkable rate. Do you want to continue to see what or who this is? Otherwise, you can head off in a different direction to avoid it. Let's check it out. 162. I know that my curiosity literally just killed me with the whirlwind, but I feel like this is friend. You allow your visitor to approach. Oh my God, look at that guy. To approach. As it gets closer. Sweet, it's pretty late where I am, so I may nod off eventually. That's okay, Ace. Welcome to the stream. It's just reading, so you can just kind of like lurk if you want. As it gets closer, you can see that it is a small, gnome-like creature with dark skin and ugly features. Its little legs move at an incredible rate, and it helps itself along with a walking stick carved to resemble a serpent. It stops in front of you, and you both look at each other. Silently, you wonder whether this is a friend or foe. Have it whichever way you like, says the creature in a squeaky voice. If it's friend, then show me your friendship. Give me a gift of greeting. Or if it is foe, then be gone. Get out of my way. Will you treat the little creature as a friend or foe? A friend. He has a serpent cane, meaning I might get information on a serpent. So let's turn to 134. The little creature is asking for a gift as a token of friendship. Will you give it something? If you do, it must be something fairly valuable. If you choose to give it a gift, turn to 50. If you do not wish to give valuable presents to complete strangers, you can refuse. Turn to 210. What do I even have? What do I even have to give it? I guess I could give it... It depends on what you consider valuable. I think what it means is like a ring. So I may be able to give it, like it's not going to take my green wig or my scroll in an unfamiliar language, but it might take my, I don't want to give it my crystal orb. I feel like the scroll in unfamiliar language might actually be worth something though. Man, I wish I had that mirror still, but I bartered it. I feel like the scroll might actually be valuable. That never came up in the book I got it in, so I think it might be something that, like, either I missed or it comes up later and I go, fuck, I wish I still had that. So I think I'm going to give it the scroll. I feel like that's a good trade. I've kind of been holding on to that, hoping it would turn into something. Okay, I gave it the scroll, and so now I will turn to 50. I'm sure it meant, like, a ring or something, but... valuable is relative. How will the little creature react to your gift? Roll one die to decide. If your gift is a spell artifact, roll these. If your gift is something else, roll these. What do you mean by spell artifact? I mean, the scroll could be a spell artifact. I don't know. It's in a language I don't understand. So I guess I'll roll that. Let's see. We roll one die. And I rolled a 1, so I turned to 33. Let's see. This is 50. The little creature grunts at your offering. I have one of these already, it declares. Well, thank you anyway for your gift, but now I must be going. Goodbye. It shuffles past you and continues along the way you have come. What is your reaction? Will you shrug, bid it good day, and set off in the opposite direction, shout after it and offer something else, or are you angry at its bad manners and would like to teach it a lesson? Turn to 327. Ah, that's such a shame. Okay, I guess I'll do 327. I don't really want to kill it, but I do want to get information out of it. I gave you a scroll. I already have one of these. You draw your weapon and shout at the ungrateful creature, telling it to give you back the gift. But I never give back my gifts, it laughs. A gift is not a gift if it has to be given back. This makes you angry, and you rush at the creature. It makes a swift motion with one finger, pointing at your feet. Your boots seem to take a mind of their own, and you trip over, falling headfirst onto the ground. Your forehead strikes a bare rock, and you lose your consciousness. Lose 3 health. You wake up a short while later, and the creature is nowhere in sight. Turn to 114. Okay. Well, that turned into nothing, and I lost an item. 114. Now I have to lose 3 HP as well. Always 3. Always back to 37. It's always 37. All right. Which way will you lead now? Now head to the northwest, turn to 149, or northwards to 83. You may rest and eat provisions if you wish, and if you do so, you will gain 2 stamina if this is your first meal. Okay. Let's roll. Always leave it up to fate. That turned out really, really shitty. I feel like that should have turned into oh my god, we actually went to the left. I feel like that should have turned into a snake, but whatever. The dice did not have it in my favor. So we're going to 149, and I'm not going to eat because we always eat at night anyway. There's kind of no point in eating right now. 149. The great forest ahead of you is now less than an hour's walk away. Your trek across the backlands is almost over, but ahead of you, barring your way, is a small village. Loosely grouped huts made from branches and foliage suggest that the inhabitants are fairly primitive. Do you want to enter the village, or will you take the northeasterly detour away from it? Let's enter the village. It's almost done, and I've only killed 1 fucking snake. This is really bad. As you near the village, you are noticed, and several of the villagers gather together to watch your approach. They are ugly creatures, strong and lanky. They wear animal skins, and 2 tall males hold hefty wooden clubs. These Cladamen are a primitive race, adapted to living a semi-nomadic life on the steppes. As you enter the village, they look at you with expressions which you cannot understand. They could be in awe of you, but they could also be but there is also a sly gleam in their eyes. They motion for you to follow them to a roasting fire where an animal is cooking on the spit. Will you accept their hospitality, or will you carry on walking through the village and on toward the forest? Yeah, let's accept their hospitality. 204. You follow them to the fire where they offer you meat from the roasting animal. Apparently, some kind of wild boar. You may add 2 stamina points for this meal. Okay. I kind of wish I had just typed that stuff. You try in vain to communicate with them, but their language is very basic. If needed, if indeed they have a language at all, they offer also a mug of tea-like broth to wash down your food. You're beginning to wonder what on earth they want with you if you cannot even speak to each other, when a sound behind you, followed by a hushed silence from the crowd, gives you your answer. You turn to see a well-built Cladaman, taller and stronger than the rest, standing behind you. He looks at you and curls his lips into a growl. In his hand, he holds a club, which he picks up and grips firmly. You rise to your feet and face this champion. A fight has been planned for you. Will you use your magic against him, or draw your weapon? Well, let's teach the caveman a lesson, I guess. 280. A general hubbub spreads through the crowd. They're getting excited at the thought of watching such a contest. Let the fight commence. Okay, so I have what is it? I have a 13 again. I have a 13 to attack. I deal 2 bonus damage, and he only has 8 health. So if I have a natural 13, he needs to roll a 6 or higher to even not get hit by me. Let's see if he can do it. I've kind of become... Hold on. Okay, he rolled a 4, so he takes damage. So that puts him at from 8 to 4. One more hit and he dies. Oh, he rolled a 10, which puts him at 19, which means I need to roll a 6 or higher. And I do. I rolled a 6, so we match. I have to re-roll. He rolls another 10, and I roll a 6. We match again. He rolls a 9, putting him at 18, and I roll a 7, putting me at 20. So he is dead. Take me to 240. Rest in peace, Country Bumpkin. As you step away from their slain champion, you can feel the atmosphere in the crowd has changed. One of the creatures steps forward with another joint of meat from the roast for you to chew, but you have decided it wisest to leave the village as quickly as possible. You turn and walk away from the crowd towards the far side of their village. Turn to 173. Okay. I kind of regret killing that guy, but, I mean, we do what we must, I guess. The creatures appear to be most annoyed that you refuse their hospitality. They shout angrily after you in a series of grunts, but no one stops you. In fact, they seem to be more engrossed in their own arguments than they are concerned with you. You walk on, leaving them squabbling senselessly with one another. Leaving the village, you are a short distance from the next stage of your journey, the forest of the Snada. Turn to 133. Okay, so we're going to have to backtrack. We're going to have to go back. 133. I might be able to figure out a way to do that without, like, resetting. As you reach the forest, the air is becoming cooler and the night is approaching. You must decide whether to camp on the outskirts of the forest for the night or carry on without resting. If you wish to stop and eat and rest, turn to 55. Okay. Let's do that. I would like to rest, please. I've already eaten, so I don't need to eat, but I will rest. You find a sheltered spot and settle down. I will not eat. As you stretch out to sleep, you are aware of strange noises coming from the forest ahead. Strange animal calls haunt the air. What dangers lie in store for you? No doubt you will find out tomorrow. You drift off to sleep. Turn to 235. I bet I'll find out right fucking now. You spend an undisturbed night on the fringe of the forest. You may add 3 stamina points for your night's rest, but if you did not eat at all yesterday, you must deduct 3 stamina points. 3 paths now lead into the depths of the forest. Which will you choose? I need to find some fucking snakes, man. I need to find some fucking snakes. I think I'm going to put 235 as a star, and if we lose our way, if we fail to kill all the snakes, we will return here, okay? That will be the plan. I'm even going to underline it. 235. Okay. We did eat, so we will gain 3, putting us at 42. 42. And we will roll the die. Again. It is 10, putting us in the middle path. Again. No, 10, 11, 12. It is the right path, actually. So I guess the middle path. 214 is where we're going. The trail leads onwards to a point where a tall tree has fallen across the way, just at the point where another path joins your own. You stop at the tree to rest. You may take provisions here and add 2. While you are sitting on the trunk, the forest noises keep you alert. Small animals rustle in the undergrowth. Birds call. But one particular sound puts you on your guard. A soft plop, which seems to come from the tree trunk, cannot be matched to anything happening around you. Do you wish to investigate? Yes, I will. Thank you very much. 193. You leave your pack and move along the tree, looking carefully for signs of whatever causes the noise. You see nothing, but a low growling sound comes from the area where you were resting. Still, you see nothing. Your pack topples from the tree trunk on the ground. Something is not quite right here. You are certain your pack was resting at level position. It almost seems as though something had pushed it off. The low growl turns into a vicious roar. Something launches itself forward and fastens sharp teeth around your arm. You are being attacked by an invisible beast. You quickly pull out your weapon and bring it down heavily on the creature's head. It yelps and releases its grip, freeing your arm. But you must lose 2 stamina points for this painful energy. Will you now run away, or do you wish to know more? I wish to know more. I also just remembered we have the fucking chakram, which I forgot about. It wouldn't have made the fight any faster. It still would have taken 2 rounds. Because he would have just had 7 instead of... Or he would have had 6 instead of 8, so it still would have taken 2 rounds to kill him. All right, let's go to 90. Is this like a dragon? That looks like a dragon to me. All right, 90. You jump to the other side of the fallen tree and watch the space where you assume your attacker to be. A shape materializes in front of you. A furry beast about the size of a large dog appears. Its black fur is slashed with yellow flashes, and its snub snout gives an ugly appearance. But its large mouth reveals the danger. Razor-sharp, pointed teeth. The creature looks a little dazed from your blow, but it looks around you. Seeing that you can see it, it rises to its feet and closes its eyes, as if in concentration. The shape fades. It is once more invisible. You are on your guard, but a rustling in the undergrowth behind it suggests that it is leaving you. Laying down your weapon, you look at your arm. It is painful, but not too seriously injured. You nurse it for a few moments, then pick up your weapon and pack to continue. Turn to 25. So confronting it was the right option. Hopefully. Oh, it's back. Okay. You stop in your tracks. In the foliage to the left is a pair of eyes. A furry face is watching you. To the right, another dark furry creature is staring. You look around and freeze. You are surrounded by at least a dozen Snaticats. The 2 in front of you close their eyes and disappear. Will you draw your weapon or cast a spell? We have to draw our weapon. We're not a mage. 74. Roll 1 die. This is the number of Snaticats that will spring to attack you. Each is identical, and they will attack you 1 at a time. Okay. That is not how animals work, but let's roll 1 die. 4. 4 of them will attack me. Okay, so we have 4 of these. They have 7 and 9. 7 and 9. I have to do them one after the other. I will chakram all of them. And the chakram, how does it work again? Roll 2, less than skill, 2 damage. My skill is 12. Unless I roll a 12, it will take 2 damage. I rolled an 8, so it takes 2 damage. So it starts the fight off at 7. And these creatures can make themselves invisible at will. They will always be invisible when they start to attack, and during the fight, you must deduct 2 from your attack strength roll since you are fighting an invisible opponent. However, once you have inflicted a wound on a Snaticat, it will be dazed, and the break in concentration will cause it to become visible again for 1 attack round. If it is not wounded again, it will make itself invisible. Your attack strength will be normal while you can see it. If you defeat all Snaticats, turn to 160. Okay, so this is interesting. So, let's say that for the chakram, since it's invisible, instead of being a 12, I needed to roll less than a 10. And I rolled less than a 10 because I rolled an 8. So it takes 2 damage. I don't think it's really fair to say that it no, it does make sense. I attacked it. I dealt damage. So it starts the fight visible. But if I don't hit it, it will become invisible. That makes sense to me. So we're starting this fight at regular damage. Since it only has 7 skill, and I have 13. 12? I have 13. It needs to roll at least a 8 in order to even... No, it needs to roll a 9 or higher, or I automatically hit it by the way that the math works out. It rolls a 7, so I hit it. It stays visible. It's now down to 3 HP. 1 more and it dies. It rolled a 6. It dies. Okay. Next one starts at 9. Let's roll for the chakram. Since it's invisible, I need to roll less than a 10. I rolled a 7, so I hit it. It's visible. We roll. Less than a 9, I hit it. It's down to 3. Less than a 9, I hit it. It is at 0. Again, Chakram, less than a 10. That is 11. I do not hit it, which means that this combat, it starts at full HP 9, and I lose 2. So instead of rolling less than a 9, or a 9, it needs to roll a 7, or I auto hit it. And it rolls a 6, so I auto hit it, bringing it down to 5. Now it's visible, so it needs to roll a 9, or I auto hit it, meaning that I auto hit it, so it's down to 1. And it rolled a 9. Okay, so that means I actually have to roll. The reason I'm doing it this way is because that brings it to 16. Since I'm at 13 starting, if I roll, my minimum roll will be 15. So if I roll a 2 and a 1, that's 16. And so in order for it to beat my minimum roll, it needs to roll a 9. So it rolled a 9. So if I roll Snake Eyes, it will hit me. And I did not roll Snake Eyes, so it dies. All right, now the last one, rolling for Chakram now. 9, I hit it, so it is visible. Less than 9, it goes down to 3. Less than 9, it goes down to dead. Okay, so combat is quite easy. Combat is quite easy for me now, and I think that's intentional. I think that is intentional, as it incentivizes you to buy each book and to go in order, right? So I complete this fight, bringing me to 147. Oh, no, 160. 160. Wasn't even that scary. Well, it was a little scary. You rest for a moment, then decide it prudent to leave as quickly as possible. You set off, following the trail. Turn to 271. I need to find some snakes, man. I need to find some snakes. 271. I thought I was going to be fighting this bear, by the way. Leaving the fallen tree behind, you continue through the woods until you reach a fork in the path. Let's roll. I rolled a 4, which is crazy. Looks like we're taking a lot of first options today. Takes me to 119. The path winds tortuously. Tortuously? Tortuously? I have to Google that word. Tortuously. Tortuously is an adverb meaning in a twisting, winding, or circuitous manner. I have never seen that word in my life. Tortuously. Where was I? Through the forest. At one stage, it skirts a hillock, and a sound makes you stop. Some inner sense advises caution as you proceed and creep forward slowly around the hillock. On the far side is a wooden doorway. Sounds from within indicate that someone or something is definitely inside. Do you want to creep up to the door and see what's going on? Or will you tiptoe past and continue along the path? I'm going to go inside. This could be the sham. 171. This could be the sham. You cannot see anything through the door. You will have to either leave the area or open the door. I'm going to open the door. 265. The door opens to allow you into a dark passageway. Following the passage downstairs, or downwards, you can eventually see a glowing light ahead of you, and you can hear voices. Will you creep along to the end and see what's happening, or draw your weapon and march boldly? Let's creep along. I can kill. I don't really want to kill, though. And I entered their home. At the end of the passageway, a small room is lit by a single candle, standing on a wooden table. The candlelight reveals a murky room, but one used as a place of residence. Judging by the furniture scattered about, seated at the table is a spindly creature whose attention is focused on a glass orb. Ooh, it's the image we're looking at here. Shapes and colors are swirling across its surface, but you cannot make out anything clearly. Will you politely disturb the creature to announce yourself, or draw your weapon and attack? Let's announce ourselves. They're just pondering the orb, dude. You don't gotta kill them. 282. You are about to open your mouth to greet the creature when a squeaky voice breaks the silence. All right, it says. Don't stand there stammering like a half-orc with the jitters. Come in and sit yourself down. I'm busy, but I'll be with you in a minute. The voice is female. Perhaps this woman is an elf of some kind. She is engrossed in her glass orb, but in a few minutes she sits back and looks at you. So, a visitor, and a human too. It's the sham. It's the sham, everybody. I am Fenestra, elf sorceress. Now, I have an excuse for being here. This is my home, but you must be a long way from your home. What in Gred's name are you doing in this forest? She watches you intently as you explain your story, while being careful to leave out your true mission. Her eyes are too large for her face, and they seem to glow softly of their own accord. The whole effect is quite disturbing, but she listens attentively and appears genuinely interested in your travels. You may ask her a question now. Will you ask her whether she has any magic which might be of use to you? Ask her how you may best cross Lake Ilklala, or make some comment about strange happenings to see whether you can steer the conversation toward the subject of the 7 serpents. Let's do that one. I haven't found a serpent in like an hour. Let's do that. 5. All the way to the back. You talk to her about... try to get her talking about the serpents, but you can detect a note of hesitancy in her replies. She seems to be a little nervous about this subject. Nevertheless, she is able to tell you that some of the serpent's weaknesses. The fire serpent is extinguished by sand. Oh my god, she's got so many. Fire, sand, sun, no water, water, no oil. This is all very interesting, but more than that you cannot discover. Eventually, you prepare to leave. Turn to 324. All the way at the back of the book. Before you leave, Fenestra offers to help you by giving you a gift. She can offer a medicinal potion, a lucky charm, a calling whistle. You may choose one of these. Turn to the reference indicated to find that item's effect. Turn also to 221 if you have collected a whistle earlier from Fenestra. What? Why would I have gotten a whistle from her earlier? Okay, well, I guess we should do the whistle. Let's see what the whistle does. 221. I might look at all of them. Fuck it. The whistle summons the ferryman to Lake Ilklala. Fenestra tells you how it works. The ferryman patrols the lake shore every morning and you will attract his attention by blowing this whistle. First thing in the morning, you may blow this whistle by turning to reference 199. If you are on the shore of Lake Ilklala, you thank Fenestra for the whistle and leave her home to rejoin the path. Turn to 92. Add 3 luck for finding this whistle. Okay, so the whistle was the right choice. I have no need to add any luck except for 12. Fuck it. We're cheating. Who cares? And let's add the whistle to our Ilklala whistle 199. Okay. My page is getting kind of confusing. There's a lot of stuff I have to remember. I added the 3 luck, and I turned to page 92. I need to kill the other snakes before I finish this book. A little further along, your path divides into 3. Okay, roll. 6. That is 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12. Okay, so that's the second option. Second option. Wait, where was I? 90. What was it? 92. That puts me at 274. $274. The trail leads through the woods. You follow it for a couple of hours. The path is downhill, and you make good progress. You are walking alongside a stream when suddenly, for no apparent reason, you trip over. You feel that you have kicked something close to the water, but there is nothing there. You sit up and look around. You are horrified to see 4 dark pairs of eyes staring at you from behind a bush. The eyes move forward, and you can see the creature watching you. Snaticats. They are about the size of large dogs, with ugly, snub noses. Their black furs is trimmed with yellow flashes. They step towards you and disappear. You blink and look again, but they are nowhere to be seen. You listen closely. Carefully, their footsteps cannot be disguised. They're advancing toward you. Will you spring to your feet and run off ahead down the path, stand and face them with your weapon, or cast a spell? Well, we know we can kill them. Look at this. This is cool. I didn't even notice them at first. All right, 99. The 4 invisible cats approach. Although you cannot see them, you can hear their footsteps. Okay. If you defeat them, turn to 187. This is going to be the same thing again, 7 and 9. Except there are how many of them? Oh, 4. Okay, so it's the same thing over again. Honestly, this is so easy, I might as well just like bulldoze it. I've got 13, so that brings me down to 11. I need to roll better than a 10 because it's my base skill for the chakram. It's lower than a 10. Let's do them all at one time. Roll. Lower than a 10. Roll. Lower than a 10. Roll. Lower than a 10. Roll. Okay, so we see all of them now. Now we're going to roll to attack. They only have a 7. I have a 13. So they need to roll 6, 7, 8, 9. They need to roll higher than a 9. Or 9 or higher. This one rolled higher than 9. So now I have to roll. Actually, I'm just going to do it in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one rolled lower than a 9, so it goes down to 3. This one rolled an 8, that's lower than 9, goes down to 3. This one rolled a 4, goes down to 3. So I need to roll to attack. I just need to roll higher than, oh shit, what was it? Higher than a 11, 18. I need to roll higher than a 5 or higher. I do, so that takes damage. It loses. Now we're going to start at 1 again. That is 8. So this one's dead. 10. Okay, this one rolled higher. 10 plus 7, 17. I need to roll a 4 or higher. I do. It dies. It dies. And last one dies. Snake eyes, baby. Lowest roll possible. They are all dead. Combat is kind of a joke now, to be honest with you. The only thing that could possibly hurt me is like how the Manticore had the poison, or how stuff like that. Things that have like other abilities to them. By defeating them, we go to 187. Reusing the same combat kind of sucks. Same combat twice in a row. 187. After the battle, you decide to leave the area quickly, in case any other Snaticats visit the spot. You continue along the trail for a few minutes until you reach a suitable clearing where you can catch your breath. Turn to 20. I swear to God, if this is the same clearing at the beginning as the beginning of the forest where we fought the Snaticats. 20. You collect your things and leave the clearing. What? For several hours, you follow the path through the woods, but you are aware that the forest is thinning. You must be nearing the edge, which means you will soon be able to see the waters of Lake Ilklala. It is early evening when you eventually reach the shore of the Great Lake. You look out across the vast expanse of still water, which stretches to the horizon, and your heart sinks. How will you cross the lake? There are no signs of people or boats as far as you can see. You sit down to consider the problem. You might as well camp here for the night and make your plans in the morning. You may eat provisions if you wish. If you do, add 2 stamina points if this is your first meal, or 1 if you've already eaten. Okay, so I will add 2 because I have to eat, and that reduces my provisions. Bam, 5. Bam, 42. I'm now realizing that all of the things from the merchant that I thought were worthless, like the normal water not blessed, actually is the answer to the puzzle. So all the things that I perceived as worthless are actually what I should have been buying. All right, turn to 246. It's actually concerning. You stand up and turn... What? 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 Did I write down the wrong number? 264. You'd think I had dysgraphia or something. 264. You wake early in the next morning. If you did not eat at all, deduct 3. What have you decided to do about getting across the lake? Will you follow the shoreline, looking for signs of life? Call out to see whether you can attract someone's attention, or wait and see whether any help might arrive? I am going to blow my whistle. I'm going to turn to 199. After packing up your camp, you pull out a little whistle and blow. No sound comes from it. You shake it vigorously and blow again, but there is still no sound. But it is not broken. It emits a high-pitched whistle, silent to the ears, but which can be heard by the ferryman. A few minutes later, he comes stumbling out of the undergrowth. This is him? This is the guy? All right, hold your horses. I'm coming. What's your rush? He's a scruffy, unwashed individual, somewhat overweight, but with a broad pair of shoulders. Right then, he says, scratching himself across the chest. Where to? You tell him you wish to cross the lake, whereupon he burst into laughter, slapping his knees with his hands. Of course you want to cross the lake. Everyone wants to cross the lake, but I still ask, where to anyway? Just my little jest. Right then, that'll be 4 gold pieces. In advance, if you don't mind. Will you pay the man? Or, if you haven't had that much money, try to fight or trick him? I will pay the man. I will pay the man. That is 110. I still haven't fought any snakes. I still haven't fought any of the snakes. I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of worried that I'm not going to encounter any of them. I feel like I've been doing so much. The only one that I think I truly missed was the guy that I gave a gift to. But that seems so unfair. Rolling a dice and you just don't get anything and instead he fucking hits you or you fall down? He disappears into the undergrowth and reappears a few minutes later, dragging a heavy boat. Give me a hand, idiot, he barks, and together you pull the boat into the water and climb in. He throws you the oars and snaps. Take the oars, fool, and start rowing. Somehow his manner has changed, and his tone is more aggressive. Will you do as he says, or are you not going to take orders from someone whose job it is to row you across? I'll do what he says. I'm not someone to judge a master, okay? 293. You start rowing across the wide lake. The water is thick and heavy, making your journey across a tiring exercise. Deduct 1 skill point until you reach the shore. Okay, I'll remember that. The ferryman is silent, watching you as you struggle with the oars. You speak to him, but he does not reply. His expression is vacant, his eyes glazed. Again, you try to speak to him, but there is no response. Something is not quite right here. You rest your oars and reach forward to shake him as your hand touches his shoulder. To your horror, the ferryman's body shrivels and slumps down, falling over the seat like a limp sack. At the same time, a hissing noise catches your attention. A jet of gas has escaped from the soulless body and hovers in the air in front of you. As it swirls around, it gradually forms the shape of a winged snake. When the shape is formed, it begins a circle in the air above you, dropping lower and lower towards you. A pungent, choking smell hits your nostrils, and you must react quickly. Will you draw your weapon or cast a spell? Draw my weapon. 261. We found a snake. We found a snake. The creature you are facing is the air serpent, who is a dangerous foe. Your blows will not harm it, as it is made of the air itself, but should you catch it twice in succession, you will disperse part of its body, making it difficult for it to reform. The serpent will attack you by trying to engulf your head with its body, thus making you breathe in its choking gas. Resolve the fight. 11-14. Yow! So I have -1, which puts me at 12. And it is at 11, so this is going to be a fair fight. It has 14 HP. You will only harm the air serpent if you roll a higher attack strength twice in succession, in which case you can deduct 3 stamina points from the serpent after the second round. The serpent's gas will only do 1 point of damage to you unless the serpent rolls a higher attack strength twice. In this case, the effect of the gas are multiplied. 1 stamina penalty on the first, 2, then 4, then 8. If you defeat the creature, turn to 213. Holy shit. Okay, so we have to defeat it. I don't even get to do anything. I don't get to destroy its body. I don't get to blow my horn, which controls the winds. I don't get to do anything. I feel like in D&D, I would be able to turn the DM and be like, wait, I have the gale horn. I can blow and disperse its body and then find its real body and destroy its real body before it reforms. And my DM would be like, good idea. You know what I mean? Or some shit like that. Or he'd be like, actually, you can't because the air is still here because you're on the top of it and it's magical wind or some shit like that. He'd make up some bullshit. Let's roll. Let's get to rolling. Okay. It has an 11. I have a 12. And I have 42 HP. However, with its multiplicativity, it can easily kill me. Rolling for it. It rolls a 4, putting it at 15. I roll a 10, putting me at 22. Okay, so I have 1 round on it. It rolls a 8, putting it at 19. I roll a 3, putting me at 15. Shame. Neither of us are winning. Oh, but it beat me. So it did deal 1 damage to me, so that brings me to 41. It rolls a 6, that's 17. I roll a 3, that's 15. It now does 2 damage to me, that's 39. I think I'm going to die to this thing. It rolled a 7, that's 18. I roll a 4, that's 16. It now dealt 4 damage to me, that's 35. I'm gonna fucking die to this thing. I'm going to die to this thing. It rolled a 2. Oh, thank God. Okay, that's 13. It auto fails. So whatever I roll is a success. 3? Are you kidding me? I roll a 15. I mean, I beat it, but it doesn't take any damage. It rolled an 8. That's 19. Oh my God, this fucking sucks. I rolled a 4. 16. Okay, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. I take 1 damage. That's 34. It rolls a 4. Okay, finally. 15. I roll a 8. 20. 7. 18. 10. Yes, okay. All right, finally, I do damage to it. That puts me at 22. And it takes 3 damage plus 2 because of my extra damage. So I am going to do the plus 2. Fuck you, fight me. So that brings it to 9. I only need to do that 2 more times. He rolled a 6. That puts it at 17. I only need to roll a 6. I did not roll a 6. So it does 1 damage to me, 33. Oh, nice. 14. I auto succeed. At 3. That's crazy. 15. 7. That's 18. Come on, please succeed. Please succeed. 7. Yes, that's 19. That's 19. Okay, so it's down to 4. I only need to do one more hit. 7. That's 18. Oh my God. Okay, I'm down to 32. 9, 20. I have to roll an 8 or higher. I do not. I roll a 17. It deals 2 damage to me. That's 30. 5 damage. Okay, I think I've got it. 16. Yes, 11. That's 23. All right, I need to succeed one more time. Okay, 17. 17. I can roll higher than a 6. Come on. Yes! 9. That's 21. I kill it. -1. Yes. Okay, that was fucking gnarly. That brought me down to 30 HP. That dealt 12 damage to me. If we were playing with normal rules, I would be at 1 HP right now. That's crazy. 1 HP. Okay. Luckily, I'm cheating. All right, so the air one is defeated. The moon one is defeated. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 snakes remaining. And I have encountered 2 of them. Okay, the air serpent dies. Turn to 213. That was hard. I'm not going to lie. Having rid yourself of the air serpent, you set off. You take the oars of the boat and row yourself across the great lake. The going is not easy, as the water is thick and heavy. In the center of the lake, you stop. Several yards ahead of you, the water is bubbling. Do you wish to see what the bubbling is, or will you steer a wide course? Yes, we're going to see what the bubbling is, because it might be the water snake. And if it's the water snake, I don't have any sand. So I'll have to figure it out. 28. You take the boat carefully up to the disturbance to see what is happening, but you can see nothing. Perhaps this is simply a natural occurrence where the underground spring or air passage leaks through the bed of the lake. You shrug and sit down again, ready to take the oars. Suddenly, the boat lurches violently into the water. The bubbling has moved and is now directly under the boat. You are thrown in from your seat and must test your luck. If you are lucky, turn to 118. If you are unlucky, turn to 281. I am auto lucky because we're cheating, and that brings me to 13 luck remaining. Oh my god, that's terrible. I wish I had an iPad I was drawing on for this. That would be kind of sick. Capture the iPad screen. I am cheating, Bumner. I am cheating. 118. Desperately, you grab to the side of the boat, and in the nick of time, you find something to hold on to. The boat tosses about for a short while, then steadies itself. The water goes calm. An unnatural stillness hangs in the air. You have the feeling that something even more dangerous is about to happen. Turn to 303. Wait, I do have sand. I have the rock sand. The stone sand. Stone dust. 303. Without warning, the bubbling starts again, this time on the port side of the boat. Breaking through the surface of the water, a shape rises into the air. A snake-like coil rises from the lake on the watery wings and hovers, dripping in the air. The creature is made from water itself, and it glares down at you, ready to strike. Will you fight it another way? I have another way. 172. I have stone dust. You may either draw your weapon in battle, or you may look through your backpack to find something useful. If you fight the serpent and you win, turn to 75. It's only a 10 and 11, so I guess I could fight it, but I do have the item. So let's turn to 245. You stand up and turn to run. Oh, oops. What will you find to use in your backpack? A flask of oil, a lucky talisman, or snakebite antidote? Which one was sand? Oh, fire. I don't have oil. Oh, damn. What do I have? Brass pendulum, whistle. I guess I can get rid of the whistle now because the guy's dead. That's a shame. I do have the snakebite venom. I do have the snake antivenom. What was on page 203, by the way? 245. I need to go to 203. What did it say about me again? It was about the sham. I didn't follow this. I should have followed that. For the most deadly, the plants are affected by the essence of bark. The rest of the parchment. Okay. All right. Well, I'm out of the forest, so neither of these things matter anymore. Sorry. I guess I'll come back here if I have to restart. 245. We will use the snakebite antidote, which is 81. You find the snakebite antidote and hold it ready in one hand as the serpent poises to strike. Turn to 67. Your choice will give you no advantage in fighting the serpent. Draw your weapon and fight. Okay, so I don't use it. It's literally just useless to me. 10 and 7. Or sorry, 10 and 11. So he is 3 points below me. No, sorry. 2 points below me. Oh, shit. No, yeah. I forgot about the chainmail. And I forgot about the damage reduction from the chainmail. So it is 13. It's not 12. Fuck. I'm stupid. Okay, so it is 12. Plus 2 minus 1 plus 1. That's plus 2. That's 13. Okay, so 13 versus 10. Man, what is wrong with me? So that means that he needs to roll a minimum of a 4 to even hit me. He rolls a 10. That puts him at 20. I have to roll a 7 or higher. I roll a 9, so I hit him. That is 4 damage. That brings him down to 7. He rolls an 8. That's 18. I roll a 5. That is 18. We miss each other. He rolls a 7. That is 17. I roll a 4. That is 17. He rolls a 5. That's 15. I believe I auto-succeed here, so he goes down to 3, but the roll was a success anyway. That puts me at 16. He auto-fails. All right, so he dies. This one was a lot easier. I kind of wish I had like the oil to make it weak, but whatever. If you win, turn to 75. Okay, so we have now killed the water one. You catch your breath for a few moments, then set off toward the north shore of the lake. Half an hour later, you are pulling the boat up onto the marshy shore. You have crossed the lake. Turn to 147. You tie the boat up in a sheltered spot and wade through the Vishlami swamp. Test your luck. If you are lucky, turn to 182. I am lucky. 182. Fortunately for me, I'm a dirty rapscallion. 12. 182. Sometimes being unlucky is better, though, so auto-succeeding isn't always the best option. Eventually, the water becomes shallow, and you step out on a marshy ground. You find a spot where you may rest and eat provisions if you wish. If you wish to stop and eat, add 2 points. As you get ready to leave, you hear a crashing in the distance, followed by cries. Something, or a group of somethings, is headed your way. Will you stay where you are but hide, run away in the opposite direction, or wait and see what happens? Let's stay where we are and hide. I am going to eat, because you have to eat once per day. Or you take damage at the end of the day. And I'm going to hide, which is 136. You crouch down in a clump of reeds and wait to see for your visitors to arrive. A few minutes later, a small group of marsh goblins, ugly, snub-nosed creatures with webbed hands, arrive in the clearing and stop. They are panting hard as if they are being chased. They jabber at one another, but you cannot understand their language. Will you wait until they have moved on, or step forward and reveal yourself to them? Let's step forward, obviously. You step forward out of cover and face the goblins. Your sudden appearance takes them by surprise. What will your next step be? Will you draw your weapon or try to talk to them? We're going to talk to them. I'm the Goblin King, okay? I've got this. I can figure this out. 138. You try a few words of greeting, but they cannot understand you. Instead, they shout at you in a language you do not understand. Unless you know an interpretation spell, return to 91 and choose again. Ah, shame. I don't want to attack them. I guess 194. I guess. We just fucking go like, hello, how are you? And they don't understand us, so we just attack them. As you draw your weapon, so do the goblins. Resolve this battle. Fight the goblins one at a time. If you kill all 4, turn to 277. If at any time you want to run away, turn to 168. I guess I'm killing them, man. I feel kind of bad. But I guess I'm killing them. I mean, such are the consequences of my actions, right? All right, so we're going to do this the same way that I did the Snatacat. 7665. 7665 and 6566. Can any of them beat me? This guy would need to roll a minimum of a 8 to beat me. This guy a 9, and a 10 to even compete with me, to even reach my lowest roll possible. So I guess we'll see if any of them can do it. 8. So this guy reaches my lowest roll possible, meaning that he auto fails, bringing him down to 2. This guy fails, bringing him down to 1. This guy succeeds, meeting my lowest minimum roll, meaning that he fails, bringing him to 2. This guy gets an 11, which is 1 higher. So if I roll a 2 or 3, if I roll a 3 or I'm sorry, a 4 or higher, he dies. I roll a 4 or higher, so he goes down to 2. Start at the beginning. He dies. That's 0. He rolls a 9. He dies. That's 0. He rolls a 5. That's dead. And he rolls a 3. That's dead. They all die. If you kill all 4, turn to 277. God damn, I feel terrible. Wait, wasn't I just at 277? Search through the bodies. You find 6 gold pieces, a parchment scroll, which you cannot understand. Oh, another scroll I can't understand. Okay. So we gave away 1. Now we gain another. Unknown scroll. Okay. And 4 gold pieces? 6 gold pieces. That's 15 gold. A parchment scroll, which you cannot understand. And enough nuts and berries for 2 meals. Nice. Then a noise startles you, coming from the same direction the goblins were running from. Turn to 270. If you are playing as a warrior and have no spells in this adventure, that turn first to 330. Oh, Lord, have mercy. The soft voice of a woman reaches your ears. You turn around, but can see no one. Be not afraid, it whispers. You cannot see me, but I am with you. I come to warn and advise you, for the scroll you have found is a valuable aid, but one which a warrior such as yourself could not hope to understand. Scribed on this parchment is a chant which will render powerless the Serpent of Time. Use it, and you need not fear the creature. That is all I can tell you, except for this. If you encounter the serpent, do not try to fight it with your weapon or magic. Instead, hold up the scroll and recite the chant to the best of your ability. Okay, so the time. Chant, scroll, no fight. That's the best. That's all I've got. But I can't understand it. What am I going to do? The voice disappears, and you unroll the parchment. You find an illustration of this chant on the page facing reference 410. Okay. Page 410. If you encounter the Serpent of Time and can make any sense of this chant, it will suggest to you a reference number. Ooh, okay. Turn to this reference number instead of fighting the serpent. Now return to 270 and continue. You quickly collect your things and make off through the reeds away from whatever it is that is approaching. Soon the noise is well behind you. Without leaving the swamp, you continue under cover of vegetation. Turn to 295. 295. You continue cautiously through the reeds and grasses until a loud rustling noise to your right makes you stop. The rustling turns into a loud hissing, and a large snake-like head rises into the air above the vegetation. It swivels to the left and right as if looking for something, but when its eyes fall on you, steam hisses from between its fangs, and it flaps its wings. It rises into the air and circles over you, preparing to strike. What will you do? Draw your weapon or cast a spell? Okay, so which one is this one? This must be the fire one, right? 103. Or maybe it's the sun one. It could be the sun one. But no, we're in the marsh, and it hates the water. As you pull your weapon, the serpent strikes, but something strange has happened. You saw it start to move, and you can see it now hovering, with blood dripping from its fangs, but you saw nothing in between. Slowly, pain arises in your arm. It's the Serpent of Time! The pain steadily increases until it is unbearable, and you cannot stop yourself from calling out. Your mouth opens to call, and your head turns to see your wound. To your horror, you realize that you are moving and reacting at a fraction of your normal speed. The deep wound on your arm is bleeding, but the blood is seeping from it unnaturally slowly, and each drop falls to the ground like a feather. When your shout of pain eventually comes from your lips, it is a low growl. What is happening? Your head turns to look at the serpent. The creature is darting about in the sky, watching you and waiting for its moment to pounce again. Suddenly, its tongue is again licking bloody fangs. It is struck again, but this time its bite was not to your arm. Instead, the pain slowly comes from your neck. As the pain dawns on you, your consciousness fades. This is a wound from which you will not recover. The Serpent of Time has claimed another victim. Okay, so we are going to page 410 because this is the Serpent of Time. His fizz dano do licks. His fizz dano do. Go something G O V J G V Sunny. What? Aga baga ugu dugu mogul. Number 101? What? What? What am I looking at? We're getting canceled with this one. What do you mean we're getting canceled with this one? What's wrong with you? Is it because I said aga baga ugu dugu? Mogul 161. 161. Is that what it is? 161? Is that a 1? No. S-U Sully? Let's try 161. 161. That's all I got. Welcome to the stream, Howard. You've missed quite a lot. Unless you've been lurking this whole time. I've been lurking. I figured. Oh, wait. 161, not 116. At the mention of the 7 serpents. No. Okay, it's not 161. I think I gotta Google this, guys. I think I'm stupid. His fizz. His fizz dano do. This is the answer right here. Aga baga ugudu. Mogul. Number. What is this right here? WM It's this. This is what we need to figure out right here. So this spell, this weirdly written riddle, is what's telling us the number to turn to counteract the time snake. And this line, I believe, is giving me the answer that I need. It's insane that I can highlight this, by the way. And then this is the answer to the puzzle right here. This is the page to turn to. His fizz dana do. What is this? What does this even say? If I can figure out what this word is, I think it's 0. Is it not? No, this is O. It wouldn't be 0. I think this is I. It's got to be I. 161. It must not be 6 here. Maybe it's 101. It wouldn't be O because O has the dot in the middle. Fuck it. Whatever. Okay, let's try 1. It wouldn't be 121. No. 131. No. 141. No. 151. No. 161. We tried that one already. No. 171. No. 181. No. 191. No. Okay. Let's Google it. I feel stupid. Sorcery time serpent. Serpent of time. No, this is the video game. I want the book. I want the book, not the game. Located either in the Cladabach Steppes, being summoned by the disguised 7 serpents, or on Lake Ilklakla on its island. Its weakness is either being summoned or brought to the Analander's feet with jig or fix, or... No, this is the game. That's the game. How about this one? Let's look up time. Oh, I am stupid. Guys, I am stupid. It's Roman numerals. LIX is the answer, not this. LIX. That translates to... L is 50. IX is 9. The number is 59. Turn to page 59. I'm stupid. Okay, all right, good. Licks. I have no clue what it could be. It turns out it was fucking Roman numerals, dude. You read out the chant, and the serpent slows down. A pained expression comes over its face, and it flaps its wings slowly. Its movements become sluggish, and it hangs unnaturally in the air as if it should, by all rights, fall to the ground. But still it hangs there, slowly floating downward. When it's within reach, you are able to attack it with your weapon. Okay, it only has a skill of 3, meaning it is literally impossible for it to beat me, so there's no point in even rolling. I kill it. Let's say I coup de grace it. Let's go to 4. After a brief rest, okay, so I've killed the Serpent of Time now. So I've got fire and sun remaining, which I am pretty certain I'm not going to encounter. I think I might have fucked up my playthrough. I'm not going to lie to you. So we'll have to figure out where it is. 4 takes me to... You are now in the shadow of the Zanzunu Peaks. Turn to 393. If I don't find fire and sun here, I don't know what we're going to do. 393. Your long trek across the backlands is almost over. Having left the Vishlami swamps, you now stand at the Zanzanu foothills, from where you will climb through Zaman to the fortress of Mampang. But will your arrival be anticipated? How many of the 7 serpents have you either killed or left trapped, unable to warn the Archduke of your mission? Oh no! 342. Damn. Oh, I think I'm dead. Your achievement has been great. Conquering 5 of the serpents is a feat worthy of a true champion of Analand. However, the remaining serpents are already flying on ahead of you to warn their master of your whereabouts and your mission. But your own survival across the backlands has built up your confidence and your stamina. Restore your stamina to its initial level and turn to 498. Oh no, that's awful. You are relieved once more to step onto firm ground. You stand and survey the way onwards. Ahead of you lies the last stage of your quest, the climb up the Zanzanus to the fortress of Mampang. You are now entering what must be Low Zaman. The going is uphill, but the dangers should be minimal, as the rocky crags of Zaman are inhabited only by birdmen. Soon the fortress should be coming into view. You continue onwards and upwards for several hours until the light begins to fade. As the sun sinks down the Zanzanu skyline, its dying rays light up a sight which you will remember for the rest of your days. The sunset shadows make your first sighting of the fortress a fearful one. Its tall spires and sharp angles give it a most intimidating look. One thing is certain. Entering the Mampang fortress will undoubtedly be the most perilous stage of your journey. Okay, so we have completed this book. It looks like we did not die, but that the next book will be harder for our failure here, for not being able to complete it. Let's go back to 393 and see what we would have gotten if we killed none of them. 496. Deduct 1 stamina. Oh, sorry. All 7 serpents are now winging their way to the Archduke's fortress to warn him of your arrival. Preparations will be made to ensure that you do not reach your goal. Although you have survived the long journey across Kakabad, many perils await you in Mampang. Because of this, deduct 2 skill, 2 stamina, and 3 luck, brother. All right, back to 393. What happens if we kill all of them? That is 357. You have defeated the 7 serpents. You are indeed a worthy champion of Analand. Your success now means that you may continue your journey to the fortress of Mampang unannounced. The Archmage will not have been warned of your arrival of your mission. In view of this, you may start your next adventure in the Crown of Kings at reference 237 instead of reference 1. You may also increase your skill to 2 points above its initial level. This now becomes your permanent initial skill score. Your stamina can be stored to its initial value. You can increase your luck by 1 point and restore your luck to this new level. Now turn to 498. Holy shit! We would have been rolling at a 15? Are you kidding me? Brother. Okay, so we don't get any of these bonuses. I did not finish it. Let's find out where the other 2 snakes were. The last one was fire. The fire serpent, 123. Hold on, what does it say? Forest of Snada. Stop and eat. Do not eat here. Rest. Follow the left-hand path. Don't leave behind your items, as you have a large backpack. Take 5 pebbles, stone dust, food, sand. Leave the path and follow the snake. Walk up the tree ready for danger. Fight the fire serpent. Okay, so we find the fire serpent by going a different way in the forest than the way that we went. which means that we must have just been like, yeah, looks like we just got unlucky. And then the last one is the sun. Oh, the first one apparently that you fight. You have defeated the fire serpent. Okay, and then from the fire serpent, take the right fork, eat here, investigate the sound, run away from this place, follow the path to the left, creep up to the door and see what's going on, open the door, creep to the end to see what's happening, politely disturb the creature, ask her if she has any magical items, give her 2 spell artifacts, so 2 pebbles, take sand, take flask of oil, sun serpent, turn to page 169, beware the breath of the mutilix. What? Okay, let's turn to 169 and see what the fuck he's talking about. You look into the orb and hold your serpent ring up to the trapped creature. A curse on you, human, it hisses. I am trapped, but I will be freed. And when I am, your journey will have been wasted. Again, you hold up the ring and demand the sun serpent reveal its secret. I am compelled to give you one piece of advice, and just this. Beware the breath of mucolytics. Mucolytics, but I'll tell you no more. Turn to 183. You are getting on well with her and decide to bring the conversation round to your mission. You ask her about the 7 serpents. She stops talking and looks at you, her eyes widening. What interest have you in the 7 serpents? She asks. Dare you risk telling her the truth? You have decided to play safe and tell her you have heard they are about and you would like to set eyes on these infamous creatures. I can lead you to one of the creatures, she says, for I have a secret. I can believe I can trust you with it. The 7 serpents are no friends of mine. For each time they fly out into Kakabad, they land in a forest, causing disturbances. The cursed water serpent killed my father during one such visit. Thus I shall never forget. My father did not know of its weakness, for the serpent of water cannot abide oil. Oil and water do not mix, and for this reason I have a plentiful store, for I will avenge my father. But let me show you what I have in my orb. Realizing that you have found a useful ally, you explain to Fenestra that you must kill these creatures. She smiles. Then take this flask of oil with you on your journey, and may your goddess be with you if you meet the evil creature. She hands you a flask of oil and turns to the glass orb on the table. Then she smooths her hand over the surface, mumbling under her breath. A shape begins to appear in the orb. Your jaw drops as you make out the form of a winged serpent. Yes, she says, I have here the sun serpent, lured down from the skies with a rain spell. I offered it shelter, for the sun serpent cannot tolerate water, and I magicked it into my orb. Eventually, the water serpent will come looking for its companion, and when that happens, I will be ready. Look, you can talk to the creature if you wish. She looks deep into the orb, with a look of disgust on her face. You may now ask her for advice on crossing Lake Ilklala, or ask her for any other advice she may have on the serpents, or you may leave and rejoin the path. Okay, so it turns out that the sun serpent is fucking trapped, meaning that we should turn to 393 because I actually have 6 of them. I just didn't know. What would I have gotten at 6? 435. You have crossed the backlands and defeated 6 of the Archmage's servants, a feat truly worthy of a champion of Analand. But the last serpent, undefeated, is now winging its way towards its master and will arrive in Mampang ahead of you to warn of your mission. Nevertheless, your success so far has filled you with great confidence. If the only remaining undefeated sun serpent is the sun serpent, turn to 458. Otherwise, to 498. 458. What does that give me? Whether or not you realize that the sun serpent has been captured and will not be able to escape to warn the Archduke of your mission. You may not ignore the bonuses granted on the last reference and instead turn to 357. Oh, so if you didn't find the sun serpent, you actually did find the sun serpent. What is this? Do you have any goblin's teeth with you? If not, you may cast... What is this image here? Your spell sends a flash of lightning from your fingertips towards the demon, but since it is made of rock, the blast has no effect. Turn to 185 and make another choice. Whoa, 185? What is that? I'm just exploring now. You run over to the rock and crouch in its folds, hiding from the undead creature. Its eyes follow you, and again it laughs loudly, holding its bony hands in front of it. It raises them slowly into the air. You wait in anticipation. Seconds later, a deep rumbling sound shakes the earth, and you panic. The rocks around you are moving. You try desperately to spring from the rocks, but your leg has been caught in a fold. The rock is coming alive. Helplessly, you watch as a great rock demon rises from the ground and turns toward you. Will you draw your sword to defend yourself or cast a spell? With outstanding bravery. Oh. What is this? You gasp at the task? As the task is completed and you are freed, but to what avail? You will certainly not be able to complete your mission with one leg. You must now do everything in your power to survive on the way back to Kare, where you will be able to find a doctor, but your mission must certainly end here. Holy shit, we cut off our leg at one point? Okay, so it looks like we didn't do too bad. We defeated 5 of them. I actually really like that the book ends with no matter how many you fight, right? It just gets harder or easier in the next book. And I like that. This one was much, much better than Kare, though it was a little bit shorter. I think we got through it a little bit quicker. But that's because Kare was like a mess of mazes and traps and dead ends and backtracking and figuring it out. This one was a lot more fun. It felt like it was kind of just like a find them, kill them, find them, kill them. And since combat is very easy for us, we did kind of glide through it. I'm enjoying this. Okay, we're almost done. The next book is the Zanzunu. The Low Zamin is where we are. And we have climbed the Zanzanus to the fortress of Mampang. Next time we do this, next book will be the end of our story, will be the defeat of the Archmage, the demon himself, who have stolen the crown. And I assure you, we will be made king of some land, probably this land. It's pretty cinema, but it is showing its age. I would like to comment, again, why are all the evil creatures black? Why are they all black and ugly? This is like a trope of the 80s that I'm glad died very quickly. Every time I read it, I kind of cringe a little bit. I'm not going to lie. However, I am enjoying this book very much. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you would like to try magic, or if you would like to try finding all the snakes on your own, or how you would fare if you took a left instead of a right, seeing as we take right every time, by the chance of the dice gods, feel free to try the book on your own. You can probably find it online, or you can purchase it if you can find a physical copy. Personally, I wish that I had a physical copy. I feel like this would be very, very fun to use the mechanic at the bottom of the book to roll the dice and see what I get. With that said, thank you very much for watching. Let's go to page 1. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Steve Jackson's Sorcery, the book, not the game, Book 3, The 7 Serpents. If you watched, or if you listened, or if you VOD watched, or if you VOD listened, or whatever, if you chatted, if you just hung out, if you lurked, I appreciate you all the same. I hope to see you in the next edition, and I'm very excited to get this over with. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.